Dear students, after a long duration, we are going to meet each other. The corona pandemic has stopped taking classes, but fortunately, due to arrangement of your coordinator, I am going to take your class again. Now you are going to read second year. You have already been promoted to second year. Though the exam could not take place due to corona pandemic, due to corona spread, but the government decided to promote you to second year. So now we are reading. We are going to read second year course. In poetry, you have 4 poems. First one is the Daffodils. Second one is Ballad of Father Gilligan. Third one is Sam of Life. Fourth one is Money Madness. Fifth one is Television. Like this, you have 5 poems in second year and 5 prose pieces, like Olympic prize, the greatest Olympic prize, on examination, the portrait of lady, and 2 others. You will see the book. I have not remembered. Okay, we will start the poem Daffodils. Daffodils is written by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth was a famous romantic poet. Romantic indicates the imaginative about the beauties of various things. Wordsworth is more preoccupied about the beauty of nature. Most of his poems are based on the beauties of nature. You have already read in your school days, that is the Solitary Reaper, and now you are going to read Daffodils. This daffodil is describing the beauty of daffodils, how the daffodils is attractive to the poet, and how it charms him, gives him true pleasure. He forgets his worldly pain. All these things are described in this poem beautifully. So we will go to the very first stanza. Understood about Wordsworth? William Wordsworth was a famous romantic poet of English literature. He is also known as nature poet because most of his poems are based on nature. Here he describes about the beauty of daffodil flowers. Daffodil is a small bell-shaped flower, golden color, and it is like the mustard flower that you have seen in our areas that attracts the people. So here also the daffodils, the beauty of daffodils attract the poet, and the poet is so attracted by so fascinated by the beauty of daffodils that he writes this lovely poem on the beauty of daffodils. The stanzas of these poems are like this. First stanza is, I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Fluttering and dancing in the breeze. So this is the first stanza. I means the poet. The poet was wandering alone, and his wandering alone is compared with the flying of a cloud. Wander means moving aimlessly. The poet was moving aimlessly, alone, in the beauty of nature, in the jungle, just like a cloud that flies over hills and valleys. Just like a cloud that flies over the beauty of hills and valleys and watches them, like a single cloud, the poet was moving aimlessly in the area of beautiful nature. Actually, he was moving in the Lake District of England. Lake District is his birthplace, where he is very much acquainted. He enjoys the beauty, and in that Lake District he was wandering English countryside. Suddenly he came across a crowd. So he says when, all at once. At once means suddenly. Suddenly he came across a crowd. I saw a crowd. Crowd means large number of people. Crowd. At once means suddenly. This at once means suddenly. Suddenly the poet saw a crowd, large number of people, that is. But actually these are not people. He marked it. He found a host of golden daffodils. A host means large number. A host of golden colored daffodils were there, and they were making crowd. The poet personifies the daffodils. How can the daffodils make crowd? Humans make crowd. But here the daffodils are considered as human beings, are compared to human beings. So the poet says a large number of daffodils beside the lake and under the trees. Beneath means under. These daffodils have been bloomed. The daffodils were blossomed. The daffodils were created under the trees and by the side of the lake. Lake means a big pond. And all these daffodils, they were fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Breeze is the slow wind. In the slow wind, these daffodils, they were moving side to side and dancing. So daffodils are dancing. The beautiful flowers were dancing. That is also one example of personification. Here the daffodils are considered like dancers. They were dancing. On the very first line, I wandered lonely as a cloud. As a cloud is a comparison. The poet is compared as a cloud. The poet is compared with a cloud. And that poetic technique is called simile. S-I-M-I-L-E, simile. This is called simile. Cloud. As a cloud, this comparison is called simile. 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 So understood? One day the poet was wandering alone, just like a cloud. The cloud, that cloud which flies, which floats high over hills and valleys. Valley means hillside plain area, which is very beautiful to look at. So hills and vales, on that the cloud is flying, and the poet is flying like a cloud. The poet is moving like a cloud, wandering like a cloud, moving aimlessly in the nature, in the landscape, in the countryside, in the beautiful nature. Suddenly he came across a crowd. All at once. At once means suddenly. He saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, a large number of golden daffodils he saw. That crowd is, what is that crowd? Crowd is large number of golden daffodils. And these golden daffodils, they were bloomed. Bloomed means produced. Bloomed means become flower from bud. So they have bloomed by the side of a lake, that is a big pond, big water reservoir, and under the trees. And these daffodils, in the slow wind, they are fluttering and dancing in the breeze. They are moving side to side. They are dancing as if they are dancing with a song. The poet enjoyed the dancing of the daffodils. That made him very happy. This is the first stanza. Then we will go to the second stanza. continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle in the Milky Way, they stretched in a never-ending line along the margin of the bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. These daffodils are now compared with stars. In the first stanza, the poet himself has been compared with the cloud, but now these daffodils are compared with the stars. This is another simile. Simile is a poetic technique where something is compared with something. So here daffodils are continuous. Continuous means they are stretched in a never-ending line. They are continuous. Continuous and continuous for long area, covering long area. So continuous as the stars. Which stars? That shine and twinkle in the Milky Way. Milky Way means, this Milky Way means imaginary way in the sky. Milky Way means imaginary way. Means the stars, they don't have any particular road, but we have imagined a road for them. So that is called Milky Way. In Odia we say Chaya Patha. So twinkle in the Milky Way. The daffodils are like the stars. Which stars? Those stars that shine and twinkle. That twinkle means sometimes look bright, sometimes then diminish their light. So like that, the stars, the daffodils are moving side to side, sometimes looking bright, sometimes they are becoming dim. So in the imaginary way, like the stars, the daffodils are also dancing and they are continuous. They stretched means they means the daffodils. This day means the daffodils. Daffodils. These daffodils. So they stretched. Stretched means extended. Lambichanti in a never-ending line. Never-ending line means that line never ends. The daffodils are stretched and stretched in a long line. The poet is enjoying their beauty. Along the margin of the bay. Along means with. Along means with. Along. With the margin. Margin means border. Margin means border. Border. So along the margin of the bay. Bay means at first he said lake. Now he is calling it sea. Why is calling it sea? Because now he is coming closer and the poet is exaggerating. Poet is describing small thing as big thing. So he describes lake as bay now. So at the border of the bay, on the margin of the bay, the daffodils are stretched in never-ending line. The poet saw 10,000 daffodils. The poet actually describing it in a larger way, like he called the lake as bay. Now he is increasing the number of daffodils and he is exaggerating the thing, and he is saying 10,000 daffodils saw I at a glance. At a glance means at one look. At a glance, glance means one look. One look. At one look he saw so many daffodils. These daffodils, they are tossing their heads in sprightly dance. Tossing their heads. Moving their heads. Toss means moving the coin. So these daffodils are tossing their heads in sprightly. Sprightly means joyful. In a joyful dance they are making. So the poet is very happy seeing them. Joyful dance. So I am explaining the second stanza again. Continuous. The daffodils are like the stars. Those stars that shine and twinkle in the imaginary way of the sky. Like them, the daffodils are continuous along the margin of the sea, along the border of the sea. They stretched in a never-ending line. Daffodils are stretched in never-ending line. The line never ends. The poet could only see 10,000 daffodils at one look, and all these daffodils were tossing their heads, moving their heads in a joyful dance. So that is the description of the daffodils in the second stanza. Okay? I will explain the other two stanzas in the next class. And how far you have understood, you will answer me in my WhatsApp number. Okay, goodbye.